Sister Wives Recap. Kody Brown reflects on terrible relationships that only created orgasms. Kody Brown hinted at having and fight style relationships with his first 3 wives during the latest episode of Sister Wives. I was in terrible relationships but wasn't willing to discard them, didn't want to discard them, Kody, 55, told the cameras of exes Mary, Janelle and Christine Brown, during the Sunday, October 20th, episode. I didn't even know I was in terrible relationships. He confessed, "You don't know you're in a bad relationship. You just think you're in a normal relationship because all your friends have the same problem until you're in a normal relationship that has deep emotional intimacy instead of the butting heads." Kody appeared to be referring to fourth wife Robyn Brown as his normal relationship. Kody explained, "Some people call it F&F. And the second word is fight. Or F&F and the first word is fight." The reality TV star quipped, "That doesn't create intimacy, that just creates orgasms." While Kody seemingly pointed to his past marriages with Mary, 53, Janelle, 55, and Christine, 52, as unhealthy, he explained that his relationship with Mary was the worst. Kody and Christine split in 2021 while he and Janelle parted ways in 2022. "This marriage was on the rocks the entire marriage," he said of Mary, whom he wed in 1990. "And how would I know that? Because I had such a better relationship with Janelle, with Christine, with Robyn and Janelle, and Christine didn't survive." He revealed he should have gotten out of the relationship 25 years ago, instead of sticking it out for 30+ years. Kody's relationship with Mary was the last to officially come to an end, but they had troubles for years. The pair legally divorced in 2014 so Kody could marry Robyn, 46, and adopt her 3 children from a prior marriage. Kody and Mary remained spiritually married for nearly another decade before she confirmed in January 2023 that they were done. "My choice was always to stay. Had I wanted to leave sooner, I would have left sooner," Mary told Kody on Sunday's episode, noting she took the steps to terminate their union with their church. While Kody was okay with moving on from Mary, he didn't like how the church categorized their split. They said they'd give Mary a release, a divorce on account of abandonment, and I just don't believe that that's true at all. "She was never abandoned," he said in a confessional. Mary was adamant that Kody knew what was happening throughout the process and could have come with her to the church elders. "I know that they use the words abandonment, and he really didn't like that. Most people don't like what is truth," Mary quipped. Despite all their drama, Kody revealed that he was hopeful his relationship and friendship with Mary wouldn't end after their breakup. "I don't want any more enemies, and I don't want another loss," he told the cameras. "I just hope that in the future, Mary will call me when she's got something fun to share." Kody added, "I'm embarrassed that my other divorces have created contempt and contemptuous enemies." Sister Wives airs on TLC Sundays at 10 p.m. ET. Don't forget to join us every Saturday for a glimpse of other adorable, adoptable furry friends seeking loving homes. Copyright 2024 Nexstar Media, Inc. All rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten, or redistributed. The latest episode of Sister Wives dives deep into Kody Brown's evolving reflections on his past relationships with his wives, particularly the strain within his plural marriage. As Kody attempts to navigate through the turmoil in his personal life, the episode sheds light on his introspection about the terrible relationships that have defined much of his romantic history. The dark side of plural marriage. Kody's reflections center on the emotional challenges and strained dynamics within his marriages to his 4 wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. Throughout the episode, Kody admits that many of the relationships he's had with his wives were not as fulfilling as he had once hoped. He acknowledges that some of these relationships were marked more by physicality and lust rather than a deep emotional connection. His admission that they only created orgasms highlights his frustration with the lack of intimacy and genuine bonding that should come with a healthy relationship. Kody's words are a stark contrast to the idealistic portrayal of plural marriage he once held dear. He opens up about the emotional toll that these terrible relationships have had on his personal growth, his sense of self-worth, and his overall happiness. This raw honesty is something fans have rarely seen from Kody in the past, as he's often portrayed as the patriarch trying to hold his family together, even in the face of intense struggles. Emotional turmoil with his wives. The emotional complexities of Kody's marriages are brought to the forefront as he reflects on the various strains each relationship has experienced over the years. Kody's marriage to Christine has already been fraught with tension, as she announced her decision to leave him earlier in the season. The dissolution of their marriage is a key focus in the episode, with Kody reflecting on what went wrong. He admits that while the relationship had its high points, it ultimately became an unhealthy dynamic. Similarly, Kody's relationships with Janelle and Mary have been strained for a long time. Janelle's decision to become more independent from Kody, particularly during the pandemic, is something that Kody discusses in detail. He admits that he has not always been the supportive partner Janelle needed, which has led to a growing distance between them. On the other hand, Mary's relationship with Kody has been long marked by emotional distance, particularly after her struggles with the catfishing scandal. In the episode, Kody reflects on how this issue has deeply affected their marriage, with Mary seemingly pulling away emotionally, and Kody struggling to meet her emotional needs. Throughout the episode, it becomes clear that Kody's perception of his wives has shifted dramatically. What was once a happy plural family has now become a complex web of unfulfilled needs, unmet expectations, and broken promises. Kody's inability to maintain meaningful emotional connections with his wives has been a constant source of tension and heartbreak, both for him and for them. The physical side of Kody's relationships. Kody doesn't shy away from discussing the physical aspect of his relationships either. His focus on the orgasms, rather than the emotional depth of his marriages, underscores his dissatisfaction with the physical intimacy in his plural marriage. The show has often alluded to the fact that Kody spends more time with Robyn, his fourth wife, while the other wives feel increasingly neglected. Kody admits that while his relationships with his wives may have initially been based on love and affection, they eventually became about fulfilling physical desires rather than creating emotional or intellectual intimacy. This has sparked backlash from fans, as viewers have witnessed Kody's increased preference for Robyn. His reflective comments about the importance of orgasms in his marriages further fuel the idea that his relationships are primarily transactional and based on physical attraction rather than mutual respect and connection. Kody's attempts at self-awareness. One of the most significant moments in this episode is Kody's acknowledgement of his own failings. He admits that he didn't always handle his relationships well, especially when it came to balancing his time and energy among his wives. He reflects on how his desire to be the sole decision-maker and authority figure in his family led to an erosion of trust and emotional closeness with his wives. The episode also touches on Kody's desire for self-improvement. Though he has often been portrayed as a stubborn, controlling figure, Kody appears to be attempting to understand the deeper issues within his family. However, his reflections come across as more self-serving than genuinely seeking to change his behavior for the sake of his relationships. He seems focused more on the consequences of his actions for himself, rather than taking full responsibility for the damage done to his wife's emotional well-being. Moving forward, can Kody repair the damage? As the season progresses, it remains uncertain whether Kody can repair the broken relationships with his wives. He has a long road ahead if he hopes to rebuild any sense of trust or intimacy with them. His reflections on terrible relationships and the role that physical attraction played in his marriages show that Kody is coming to terms with the fact that something needs to change if he hopes to salvage his plural family. However, it is unclear whether he is truly capable of making the emotional adjustments necessary to heal his relationships. At the end of the episode, Kody's future in plural marriage seems uncertain. While he expresses a desire to be more introspective and learn from his past mistakes, it's still unclear whether he will be able to rebuild the emotional connections that were lost along the way. The question of whether Kody can become the kind of husband and partner his wives need is something that will continue to play out in the coming episodes. Conclusion. This week's Sister Wives episode is a turning point in the series, as Kody Brown opens up about his deepest frustrations with his plural marriage and reflects on the emotional turmoil that has plagued his relationships. His acknowledgement of terrible relationships and the focus on physical gratification highlight the challenges of managing multiple marriages, particularly when emotional and physical intimacy are not in sync. As the season unfolds, viewers will undoubtedly be watching closely to see whether Kody can take meaningful steps toward reconciliation or if his relationships are beyond repair.